Lux presents Hollywood. The Lux Radio Theater brings you Roddy McDowall, George Brent, and Rita Johnson in My Friend Flicka. Ladies and gentlemen, your producer, Mr. Cecil B. DeMille.
Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. Among the grown-ups of this world, there's usually something less than perfect understanding. But between boys and horses, there's a deep and abiding sympathy that leaves no room for bickering. Not a word is spoken, but there's a miracle of communication in a lump of sugar, a pat on the head, or a nuzzled cheek. I had a horse when I was a boy, so when I heard what My Friend Flicka was about, I knew I'd like it. But I was not prepared for the deep emotional experience which the 20th Century Fox picture gives to all who see it. Roddy McDowall's fine performance as the boy and Maureen O'Hara's great story fit perfectly together. And tonight, we've brought back an old favorite of yours, George Brent as Roddy's father, with Rita Johnson from the picture cast as his mother. This drama has the power of simplicity. It's the story of a boy on a ranch and the outlaw horse who is his friend. Together, they meet the joys and the pathos of their simple life, a life perhaps we all may envy. I believe it's plays like this which have given the Lux Radio Theater its reputation through the years and earned the loyalty which you have given to this theater and to Lux Toilet Soap. You know, it takes about 40 people to bring one of these plays to the microphone in addition to the actors. There are the engineers, writers, musicians, sound technicians, stagehands, script girls, play readers, research experts, and just plain handymen like me. All these people work all week so that you can have this hour of entertainment on Monday night. And you've certainly done your part magnificently. You've given us many excellent suggestions, and we've given you a double feature, a fine play and a fine product, Lux Toilet Soap. And here's the fine play right now, as the curtain goes up on the first act of My Friend Flicka, starring Roddy McDowall as Ken, George Brent as Rob, and Rita Johnson as Nell. Around the lower meadow they flash, the brood mares of the Goose Bar Ranch, and their new foals, around and around again. There's the great stallion, Banner, his proud mane flung out in the wind. And there's his lady, Rocket, her eyes rimmed with white, as her graceful body sweeps through the high grass. And there are the foals, running close beside their mothers. Running because they're so new to the world and so happy to be in it, and because the morning sky is clear, and the spring wind is fresh with the smell of pines from the mountains. Yes, this is the family of the stallion Banner. This is the lifeblood of the ranch. Now toward the ranch house comes another horse. This one wears a saddle, but no rider. He runs free, his bridle whipping about his head.
What now, Hildy?
Look, Papa, here comes Cigarette. But there's nobody on him.
Gee, this again? Oh, boy. Here, boy. Oh, there. Oh, oh. That's the boy. Easy, boy. Easy.
Yes?
Yeah, boss.
What's the matter? Is that Cigarette?
Yeah, boss. She come back alone.
Ken riding her?
He was, but he ain't now.
Hildy, keep quiet.
Yes, Papa.
Doggone that kid. Look at this bridle. Snapped in half. Hope Ken's all right.
Oh, youngun's full light, boss. He's used to it.
Ah, well, there's always a chance of getting hurt. Saddle shorty. I'll better go see.
Yeah, boss.
Oh, wait a minute. Never mind, Gus. Here he comes now.
He's limping. I bet he hurt his leg.
Ken?
Yes, sir?
Come here.
Yes, Dad?
You all right?
Sure, I'm all right. Just skinned my knee a little.
Did Cigarette toss you again?
Yes, sir. Bet you dig your heels in her belly again. I didn't.
Did you, son?
Yes, sir.
Well, good heavens, Ken. Aren't you ever going to grow up? How many times have I told you not to tap your heels into her? And look at that bridle. The second one you've broken this week.
I'm sorry, Dad. Oh, Ken, did you find the saddle blanket?
What saddle blanket?
This one. I lost it out on the range yesterday afternoon. I was looking for it this morning.
Rode with a saddle, I suppose, and forgot to cinch it properly.
Yes, sir. Gee whiz, look. It's all torn. Will you keep quiet, Hildy? It got caught on some barbed wire, Dad, and...
You're the doggonedest kid for losing and busting and forgetting.
Dad...
Never mind the excuses. There's your mother ringing for breakfast. Pull that horse out and come up to the house.
Yes, Dad. Sit down, Rod. It's all ready.
Any mail this morning?
Right over there. Where's Ken?
Oh, he's coming. Cigarette tossed him again.
Oh.
I don't know what I'm going to do with that boy. Doesn't seem to pay any attention to what I tell him. Always losing equipment or breaking it or spoiling it somehow.
Oh, he's still a child.
Well, he's old enough to have his wits about him. Never seen such a young one for walking around with his head in the clouds. Wonder he doesn't trip over his feet.
Morning, Mom. Come on, darling. Eat your oatmeal while it's hot.
Now, look at that.
Rob, what is it?
Ken's report card. Well, Ken, I suppose it won't surprise you to know that you haven't been promoted.
No, sir.
And here, maybe you'd like to see your marks.
Oh, let him eat his breakfast first.
Just as a matter of curiosity, Ken, how do you go about getting a 0 in English? 40 in history, 17 in arithmetic, but a 0. Just as one man to another, what goes on in your head? Well, haven't you got anything to say for yourself?
Nothing, sir.
Well, what were you doing in that English exam? What were the questions you missed?
We were supposed to write a composition.
Well, couldn't you think of anything?
Yes, I had it all planned. I was going to write the story of how you lost your polo mare, how that wild albino came down from the meadow one year and stole her from Banner, and then how she came back, and her foal that year was white, the albino blood, and how it was passed on every year. And then how Rocket was born, and she was so beautiful and everything, but she could never be broken, because that wild blood was in her. I was going to write all that.
Well, why didn't you?
I got to thinking. I thought we had time. I thought the hour had just begun when the school bell rang.
So you never even got started.
No, sir. Not a single word, Ken? No, Mom.
Just daydreaming, huh?
No, Dad, I was thinking about...
About what?
About my colt.
Your colt? You haven't even got a colt.
Oh, Dad, give me a colt, will you, please?
You'll get a colt when you learn how to treat one. You're going to buck up, young man. Trouble is you don't try.
I do try, Dad.
Well, I don't see any proof of it. In the meantime, you'll spend an hour a day studying all the rest of the summer to make up your work. Come in.
Good morning, mister.
Oh, good morning, Dad.
Well, boss, what's for today?
Good day to move the horses, Gus.
Yeah, it's time they were off the meadows. There's a storm cooking up in the southwest.
Can I help, Dad?
I've got to get 4 of the older horses in shape for the rodeo. That means foolproof. Those 3-year-olds have to be broken. Can't let them go any longer.
Can't I help move them this year, Dad?
Great guns, no. Tough enough to move 100 horses fresh as blazes after a winter out without a kid tagging along to make them nervous. Right out, Gus.
Yeah, boss.
Don't you want another cup of coffee, dear?
No, I've had enough. Got to get started.
Pancakes, Ken?
No, thank you.
Oh, Kenny, you can ride any horse we've got on the ranch. Why are you so set on having a colt?
Oh, Mother, it isn't just riding. I want a colt to be friends with me. If I had one, I'd make it the most wonderful horse in the world. I'd feed it so to be bigger than any other horse on the ranch and the fastest. I'd school it so it would follow me around wherever I went, like a dog. You see, Mother, I want a colt of my own. All my own.
Well, you'd better go up and start your studying, Ken. Get it over with,
Kenny, wait! What do you want, Hildy? Where are we going, Kenny?
You're not going. I'm going to watch Dad bring in the horses.
All right, we can take the shortcut and meet them halfway coming back.
Oh, no, you better stay here. It's going to be tough enough to bring in 100 horses. All of them as fresh as blazes after a winter out without having a girl tagging along to make them nervous.
I'm coming. Those horses ain't scared of me.
Oh, go on, Hildy. You better go back.
I can come if I want. My father's the foreman.
Well, my father's the owner of that ranch, and that's so.
Well, my father's the foreman, and I can come if I want.
Oh, all right. Come on.
Yo, get back there. Yo, Rocket.
Keep Rocket in the middle of the bunch, Tim. Don't let her cut out.
Yo, Rocket.
There they are, Hildy. Down there. See them? You better get back from the edge of that rock and slip off and slide down in the meadow. I won't slip. Look, Hildy. See that big black stallion? That's Banner. And that one's Rocket. Right in the middle. Gee, she's beautiful. Isn't she beautiful?
Better get back, that's all.
Look, do you see how Banner handles them? They have to do what he wants, all right, or he nips them. See, Hildy? Did you see? One of the mares wanted to cut out and run, but he made her get back. He... Oh, look out!
Yo, get out there, yo!
Hey, guys, they're stampeding.
Yo, watch it!
Oh, they're making for the rock pile. Head them off, Banner. Head them off, boys. Okay, Tim?
Okay, boss. Banner took care of him.
Walk them slowly on the way back.
Okay, boss.
Ken, come here. What were you doing down here anyway?
I came to see the horses.
So you have to fall down the hill and start them into a stampede.
I didn't mean to do it, Dad. I didn't mean to scare him.
You didn't mean. You never mean anything, do you? Get up.
I told you not to stand on that rock, didn't I? Now your pa's mad at you. You'll catch it when you get home, I bet.
Oh, go away, Hildy.
Ain't you coming?
I'll be up later. What's that? Look, Hildy. That's a yearling. But she shouldn't be here. She must have come down from the home pasture. Jeepers, look at her. Isn't she beautiful? Almost a white mane. That's the albino blood. But she's like Banner, too. She's got Banner's head. Oh, and she runs like Banner, like the wind. Oh, jeepers. If I could ever have a colt like that.
Well, no more accounts for tonight. I'm out on my feet.
How's the ranch doing, Rob?
Oh, so-so, I guess.
Are we on the downgrade?
Well, I never had so many bills and less money to pay them with. I don't seem to be able to sell the horses at a profit.
But they're good horses with good blood.
Mm-hmm. All but that albino strain. And they've got a crazy streak in them. No use trying to sell them. I wouldn't even get back the cost of raising them at the price anybody'd offer. I'd rather shoot them. I would, too, if they weren't so doggone fast. You know, I always hope to just get one decent colt out of that bunch. Now, let's go to bed.
Rob, give Ken a colt.
After the stunt he pulled this morning?
Well, you know he didn't mean to.
Well, he doesn't deserve a colt.
Aren't you ever going to give him one?
Sure, I've been expecting to. Maybe if he pays attention to his studies this summer. By the way, did he study today?
Well, he exposed himself to his books.
Yeah, I know. Nothing I say makes any impression.
Well, don't you see, he set his heart on having a colt of his own, and he can't think of another thing.
But that's all backwards. You don't bribe children to do their duty.
It's not a bribe, Rob.
No, what would you call it?
Well, I just have a feeling that Ken isn't going to pull anything off. And it's time he did. Maybe a little thing like this would turn the trick.
But that isn't a little thing. It isn't easy to break and school a colt. I'm not going to have one of my good horses spoiled by that boy's carelessness.
Rob, it's important. He's got to succeed at something. What he needs
What he needs is to snap out of it.
Well, if you want to put it that way. What I was going to say is he needs to grow up a little bit.
And how will having his own colt make him grow up?
Oh, you know. Something of his own. Responsibility. He'd have something real and flesh and blood that he cared about more than all those things he goes mooning about. Well?
Wait. Don't go. Nell, I'd like to give Ken a colt. I'd like to get closer to the boy somehow. But every time I get all set for a get-together session with him, he hands me a facer like that thing he pulled today.
Rob, didn't you ever want anything more than anything else in the world?
Yes. Just one thing. And I have it. You, Nell.
Oh, you do understand. You do, don't you?
Hello, Dad.
Morning.
Morning, Teddy. Sit down. Oh, Gus was in, Rob. He tells me Rocket broke away from the home pasture last night.
She did?
He thinks she's got a colt somewhere.
Well, there wasn't one with her yesterday. Now I'll have to chase all over the range looking for her.
I'll find you, Dad.
All right. I'll go with you. By the way, son, I'm going to take back an order I gave you yesterday. You can forget that hour of study.
Huh? Oh, thanks, Dad.
You can. I'm going to give you a colt.
A colt? A colt of my own?
Mm-hmm. I'll give it to you, a week from today. That'll give you time to look them all over and make your own choice.
You I can have any colt on the ranch?
Yes,
A yearling?
that's right. Be ready to leave in 10 minutes.
Colt of my own. Jeepers. Maybe I can have the one I saw yesterday.
Any sign of her, Gus?
No, boss.
You want me to ride over the hill and look for her, Dad?
No, stay with me. Ken, you may think it's funny my giving you a colt, and what you deserve is a good hiding. Flunking all your exams and then pulling that stunt yesterday. Well, I don't want you to think I'm letting you off. I haven't gone soft. Don't get that into your head. I expect just as much of you now as I ever did. This isn't any reward because you haven't won any reward. It's a partnership. One of these days I'm going to need your help. You have to be trained so you'll know how to give it. Every man needs training, Ken. Discipline. I got mine at West Point. Now you're going to train a colt. I'll give you a little help just at the first breaking. But you'll have to train it, and it'll train you.
Yes, sir.
You know, Ken, you and your mother may have to take care of this ranch without me pretty soon.
Why, Dad? Where'll you be?
Well, I may go back into the Army any day now, son. You understand, don't you?
Yes, sir.
So I'm counting on you to make a good pony out of that colt and let it make a man out of you.
Yes, sir.
Rocket's not here, boss. No colt here either.
Well, I'm not surprised. I rode all over this grove yesterday, and I'm sure I didn't leave any colts behind. Besides, if Rocket had a colt, she wouldn't have left it.
Dad, I saw a colt in the meadow yesterday. It got separated from that bunch in the stampede. It was a beautiful sorrel filly with a cream mane and tail.
Cream mane. Sounds like that yearling of Rocket's.
Rockets?
Yeah. The filly sired by Banner last spring. That's what was the matter with Rocket last night. She missed the little filly and went back after her.
Yes, if she did lose a colt, she'd very likely console herself with the yearling. She's loco, that Rocket. Well, we should pick up a track around here.
Wait, boss.
Well?
There's a track, all right. But it ain't a horse, see? Right there. That's a cat, boss.
Yep, it's a mountain lion, all right.
Yeah, big one.
Gee.
We haven't had one of them around here for a long time. It's a good thing we got the brood mares out of here yesterday.
Yeah, that's what happened. The cat got Rocket's foal.
When, Gus?
Track's not very fresh. Maybe 2 days old.
2 days. Then it couldn't be. It couldn't be the one I saw yesterday, could it?
No, of course not. You saw a yearling yesterday. Gus, we better keep an eye out for that cat.
Yeah, boss. I go up around Castle Rock with a gun one day.
There she is, Dad. There's Rocket.
Yeah, that's the yearling with her, too.
There they go. Look at that filly run, Dad. She's almost as fast as Rocket.
She sure is. What a pretty little flicker she is.
Flicka? What does that mean, Gus?
Swedish for little girl.
Flicka. That's what I'll call her. My colt.
Your colt?
Yes, sir. That's the one I want.
Rocket's filly?
Yes, sir.
Well, I certainly hope you'd make a wiser decision than that. You know how I feel about Rocket. That whole line of horses.
But she's fast, Dad, and...
They're the worst horses I've got. There's not one among them with any real sense. The mares are hellions and the stallions are outlaws. They're untamable.
I'll tame her.
Nobody's ever been able to tame them. You want a horse that'll be a friend of you, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Well, you'll never make a friend out of that filly. No fence in the world will ever hold her. You
No.
better change your mind.
No, I want her, Dad.
Well, okay, Ken. I promise you could make your own choice. But remember, Rocket's loco, and 10 to 1, the colt is too.
But, Dad, she may not be. Banner's her father.
All right. It's up to you. We'll bring her in the next day.
That's what I stopped by for, Rob. Thought you might have something fast I could use.
Well, I told you last fall about Rocket.
Not interested.
Charlie, with all your racehorses, you haven't got anything like Rocket. That she-devil can outrun any animal you've ever seen.
Oh, you're crazy.
Wouldn't like to make a little bet on that, would you?
Hello, Charlie.
Well, hello there, Nell.
No, don't get out. Well, what are you two talking about?
Rocket. You know, if I could get a mare that could really run without training...
That's Rocket. She'd make a fortune for you, if you could break her.
I got a bronco buster who can break any horse that was ever foaled. And he can do it if she's worth breaking.
Is she worth it? Didn't I just tell you?
How much do you want for her?
500.
You got a stopwatch?
No, but I've got a speedometer. She's down the lower pasture. We could get her out on the road there and chase along after her in the car. We could clock her that way.
All right, come on.
do you say, Charlie?
Great gun, she's like a locomotive. Does she always run like that with her nose in the air?
Yeah, she's a stargazer. Look at that speedometer.
30 miles.
Faster, boss. She ain't half trying.
Go to it, Rocket.
32, 33,
If she does 35, I'll buy her.
34, 35.
Jumping jeepers.
Well, what do you say?
It's a deal. If you deliver her to my ranch, sound in wind and limb. But just how you're going to do that, my lad, is anybody's guess.
You leave that to me. I'll have her in my truck this afternoon.
Hey, her, boss.
Get in there. Get in,
Be
you.
careful, Rob.
Open the trailer door, Tim. She's coming through.
All set.
Get up, Rocket. Get up.
Watch it, boss.
There she is. Close the gate.
Wow, that rocket.
All right, Tim. Get on that truck. And don't swing that trailer on the curves. Remember, Charlie expects her delivered in good shape, and don't skin her up.
Okay, boss.
All right. Get her out of here. Well, that's that now.
You mean that's $500? It'll come in mighty handy, won't it?
I guess we can use it. $500 and rocket off the ranch.
Oh!
What the...
Rob, she's hurt.
Hold it. Don't move that truck.
Oh. Mom, what happened? What's the
Don't
matter?
look, Kenny. It's Rocket. She was in the trailer, and then she reared up. Go in the house, dear.
Rocket?
Go inside, dear.
Take the trailer off there. I'll be right back to help you with it.
Yeah, boss.
Well, Rob?
She's finished. When she reared up, she hit her head on the gate down there. She's dead.
Oh, poor Rocket.
Well, there's one thing I can still do. I can get rid of every albino horse on the ranch, and I'm going to.
You going to sell them?
To Williams.
Williams? They're too good for Williams.
Well, he buys horses, doesn't he?
But he buys any kind of horses, and he doesn't pay anything.
Oh, whatever he pays is good enough. Hello. Hello, Williams? This is Rob McLaughlin. Look, Williams, I got a load of horses for you. Yeah, those albinos. Rocket's whole tribe. All right, at your own price. Good. Yeah, there are 9 of them. Wait a minute. There may be 10. Ken, come here.
Yes, Dad?
I'm going to give you a chance to do a sensible thing. I want you to choose another colt and let me sell Flicka to Mr. Williams with the rest of those jugheads. For your sake, I'm asking you to do this as well as mine.
Sell Flicka?
What's the use of having another rocket on your hands? Did you just see what happened to her?
But I'm going to tame Flicka.
But you can't. It's impossible.
Sometimes bad horses get tamed.
You don't want a local horse, do you?
I want Flicka.
Look at me.
Dad, please. She's mine. You gave her to me. And I want her, Dad. I want Flicka.
All right. Sorry to keep you waiting, Williams. I thought there was one more, but there are only 9.
In a few minutes, Mr. DeMille and our stars, George Brent, Roddy McDowall, and Rita Johnson, will return in Act 2 of My Friend Flicka. And now, let's try to catch up with a busy lady who has quite an unusual job. There it goes. The whistle that means the end of the daytime shift at Central Aircraft. Miss Emery. Oh, Miss Emery, won't you let us have a few minutes?
2 at the most. I've got a line of girls waiting for me.
Miss Emery, did you ever think when you got your nurse's cap that someday you'd also be beauty advisor at a great airplane factory?
Hardly, Mr. Kennedy. Because no one ever thought a few years ago that beauty counsel and factory work would go together. But practical, hard-headed management has found that it pays.
Well, tell us why, won't you?
Well, to put it briefly, executives have been discovering that when spirits are high, work is good. Of course, every woman knows that when she looks her best, she's likely to be feeling her best, and so doing her best. That's why we urge the girls to take good care of their hands, their hair, and their skin. Even suggest bright nail polish. Helps morale, you know.
Yes, I can see that it would. What do you tell the girls about complexion care, Miss Emery?
Well, we tell them there's no one thing that contributes more to a girl's good looks than a smooth, lovely skin.
Do you make a practical suggestion?
Yes, we stress regular care. No skipping beauty care at bedtime just because you're tired. A complexion care must be gentle, too. One you can depend on.
Well, that sounds as though you were going to mention Lux toilet soap any minute now.
Well, it just happens that my own beauty care is Lux toilet soap, Mr. Kennedy. I've used it for years.
Well, I'm sure of one thing, Miss Emery. That gorgeous Lux complexion of yours must have quite an influence with the girls in backing up what you tell them.
Well, thank you, Mr. Kennedy. As a matter of fact, Lux toilet soap is a great favorite at the plant. So many of the girls find that regular, active lather facials give them real beauty help.
Thank you very much, Miss Emery. It's true that not only 9 out of 10 screen stars, but women everywhere find that this famous white soap does give skin the gentle, protecting care it ought to have. Now, here's a shopping suggestion. Lux toilet soap, Hollywood's beauty soap, tomorrow. We pause now for station identification. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Act 2 of My Friend Flicka, starring George Brent as Rob, Roddy McDowall as Ken, and Rita Johnson as Nell.
Get in there!
Flicka has lost the freedom of the pasture. She's learning now that to be a friend of man, she must submit to the flash of a rope around her neck and the high bars of the corral. But Flicka's blood is that of the wild albino, a breeding of the open prairie land.
Head her into the stable, Tim. Just stand by the door. If she gets in, bolt it after her.
Yeah, boss. Yo, get in there.
There she goes. She's going in the stable, Dad.
Watch it, Gus. Yeah. Now, get that door closed.
She's in, boss.
Yeah, well, that's that.
Sure is a wild one, boss.
Some loco, that filly.
We'll leave her in there to think it over.
Hey, she's pretty mad.
She's around the side there.
She's coming through the side window, boss.
Get around there, quick.
There she goes, right through the glass.
Flicka, come back.
Watch her on the barbed wire. Head her away if you can.
Yeah, get back. She's going right for the fence, boss.
Well, if she's anything like her mother, she'll go right through that wire.
Yeah, look out, you.
Flicka! Oh, Flicka!
Now, what did I tell you? She ran right into it. Come on, Gus.
Whoa, girl. Whoa, easy there. Easy. Whoa. Whoa.
Got your pliers, Tim?
Yeah. Hold her leg there.
Oh, girl. Whoa
Dad,
there.
she's all cut. She's bleeding.
Snip that wire, Tim.
Sure got herself wrapped up in this.
Oh, hurry, Tim. Please, hurry.
He's doing the best he can.
She's cut pretty bad, boss. I don't think she'll pull out of it.
Well, maybe it's just as well. If it hadn't been this way, it would have been another. A loco horse isn't worth the bullet it takes to shoot it.
Oh, Flicka.
Kenny, eat your dinner.
I'm not hungry, Mom.
Please, Kenny.
Do I have to?
You heard what your mother said.
But Flicka, I thought maybe I could go down and see how she is.
Your mother said to eat.
Let him go to her, Rob.
She can't do her any good. Gus and Tim pulled her inside the fence and put menthol brew in her cut. She snaps out of it, she's got water and oats.
Rob, let him go.
All right, all right. Go ahead. Go on.
Oh, Flicka. Does it hurt a lot, Flicka? I didn't mean to hurt you. I just wanted you to be mine. And that means you'd have to get to know me. That's why we brought you here, Flicka. So we could be friends. I'll stay here with you as much as I can. I'll come here every morning and every night. And every day after I finish my work until you get well again. Oh, get well, Flicka. Please be all right. Please, Flicka.
Well, it's 10:30. Guess I better head for hay.
Rob.
Hmm?
Rob, I wish you'd be a little nicer to Ken.
Why? He's gone against everything I've told him to do. Picking that wild albino. Insisting on keeping it. Crazy nag.
Well, it's been hard on him, too. He's all broken up worrying about
Well,
him.
so am I. I'm burned up. What's it all for? He's going to have a horse to train. Why didn't he pick a decent one? One that would have taught him something. Made a man of him. What can he do with this poor little filly?
Give him a little time, Rob. Don't you see all this is changing, Ken? He's learning.
Learning what? You sit under a tree all day and moon over her?
No. He's learning to face facts.
I haven't noticed him facing any facts.
You will. If you'll just watch for it.
Well, what's he so chipper about this morning?
Flicka. She's better.
Oh, coming along, huh?
Uh-huh. She's almost well. The cuts are all healed up, and she's eating like a horse.
What?
Oh.
Maybe we're going to have a pleasant summer after all. If she doesn't turn out to be another rocket.
Oh, I hope not.
We'll find that out when we put a holder on her.
This morning, Mom, I'm starving.
Well, what kind of manners is that?
Oh, I'm sorry. Good morning, Mom. Morning, Dad.
Morning, Ken.
Coffee, Rob.
Thanks. Ken, now that Flicka's better, I want you to remember that you have some other duties.
Oh, yes, sir.
You can give some of your time to your colt, but not all of your time.
Oh, I won't, Dad. Oh, Dad.
Hmm?
Could you come down and look at Flicka this morning and see how she is?
Well, will Her Highness let you get near her?
Well, not too close. She's still a little scared. But she'll let you look at her from the other side of the fence.
That's big of her. Okay. We'll go down after breakfast and give her the once-over.
Oh, swell. Here she is, Dad. Good morning, Flicka. Now listen, Flicka. Dad's coming down to look at you, so be a good girl and don't run away, will you?
Well, she does look good. Fine, Ken.
Yes, sir. Her cuts are all healed up, except for the one on the right front leg, and it's almost well.
I think she's beautiful.
Dad, do you think she's local?
I'd have sworn it by the way she's behaved ever since she was born. But we've never seen her except when she was scared out of her wits.
Oh, every horse looks wild in the eye when it's terrified.
She tried to go through that fence when she knew she shouldn't.
Yes, well, we'll forgive her that one. Point is, will she learn? Can she learn?
And we've got to find that out, don't we? I mean, if she is local, maybe I'll never get her trained.
Of course not, and there's no maybe about it. Son, what have I been telling you all these weeks? Didn't you understand? What did you think local meant?
Sort of goofy or wild or hard to handle.
Oh, no. It's much more serious than that. There can be insanity among animals, and bad blood can carry it on. And that albino blood isn't safe for any filly to have.
But you said maybe it's just because she's been scared.
Well, that's right. We won't really know until we see how she responds to training.
Dad, how can I train her?
All you can do is try to win her confidence. You know, son, if you take everything away from a living creature, freedom, friends, its home, habits, and happiness, it'll turn in sheer need and desperation to the one thing that's left. In this case, that's you.
Me?
Yes. You're her whole life now. Make her like it.
Oh, I will, Dad. I will.
Give her love and companionship. And talk to her.
Will she understand me?
Of course. And a horse can tell you a lot of things, too, if you watch and expect it to be sensible and smart. Pay attention to all the little signs. The way it moves its body, the ears, the eyes, and the whinnies.
That's its way of talking, Dad.
That's right. There's the neigh of terror, the scream of rage, the whinny of nervous impatience, and the nicker of longing or hunger or friendliness. You learn its language, and it'll learn yours. And never forget, horses understand everything you say to them.
Everything, Dad?
Everything.
You mean if they're not local?
Yes, Ken.
All right, Flick, I know you're hungry for your oats, but I'm hurrying as fast as I can. There you are. Come and get it. Good, isn't it, Flicka? Oh, Flicka, you do understand me, don't you? Now eat it all so you'll be big and strong like Banner. You know, you've got a very smart father, Flicka, and you've got to forget all your wild ways and be just like him.
Who are you talking to?
Flicka?
Oh, horses can't understand people's talk.
Well, that's all you know. Flicka understands everything I say, and what's more, she talks back to me.
Ah, pooh.
Well, maybe you don't know, but horses got a language all their own. There's the neigh of terror, the scream of rage, the whinny of nervous impatience, the nicker of longing. See, there's the nicker of hunger.
Ken.
What?
Can you wiggle your ears?
Oh, go away, Hildy.
Mom.
In the kitchen, Ken.
Oh, you're ironing, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
What's in your mind, Ken? You want to speak to me about something?
Yes, Mom.
Well?
Mom, did you ever want anything terribly?
Most everyone wants something, dear.
But you're grown up. You're married. You've got Dad and me. Why, you're finished.
Then I shouldn't still be wanting, should I? But people do, Ken.
Everyone? Always, Mom? Don't you ever get really finished?
I wonder. Maybe sometime, for a minute or two. What is it you want now, Ken?
Oh, Mom, I want Flicka to be all right. Not local.
Oh, perhaps she isn't loco, dear. We don't know yet for sure, but if she is, Ken, wanting won't change it.
If she is, it'll look bad for her, won't it?
Well, let's see what happens when we try to halt or break her.
Does she have to be hold or broke, Mom?
We've got to find out, don't we?
I suppose so. But what if she won't let us?
She loves you, doesn't she?
Oh, yes, I'm sure she does.
Well, that shows she's intelligent.
How does it, Mom?
Well, it's just a way of putting away fear. Don't you understand, Ken, that if you find love, if a person or an animal finds love, it's the same as finding safety. It's comfort and friendliness and help. Everyone longs for it. And if Flicka's found it, yet doesn't have sense enough to know she's found it and goes on being crazy and silly with fear, then
she'd be loco.
Yes.
Start getting the hay in tomorrow, Gus.
Sure, boss.
Nell, I'm hiring some hands for the next week or so. They'll eat a lot.
I'll be ready.
Good. Hello, son.
Dad, I've been thinking. Don't you think it's about time that we hold or broke Flicka?
What's that?
I think we ought to find out now.
You know what it means, Ken.
Yes, I know. It'll prove whether I can have a trainer.
I'll leave it to you, son. When do you want to try?
Well, I thought today.
All right. Call her over here, Ken.
Yes, sir.
Flicka! Come here, Flicka!
Have your rope ready, Tim, just in case.
All set.
Flicka!
She's turning.
Here she comes, Dad, see?
Yep. All right. Now put your bandana around her neck and tie it in a loose knot. Go ahead.
Like this?
That's it.
Easy, Flicka, easy.
Now take your belt off and slip it through the bandana. That's it. Now take a hold of the belt and lead her around. Go on.
Yes,
Leave
Dad. Come on, Flicka. Come on, girl. That's right, Flicka. Don't be nervous. You'll be all right. Don't be nervous.
All right. Now bring her back.
Yes, sir. This way, Flicka. That's the girl. Yes, Dad?
Well, son, I'd call that halter broken.
But it isn't a halter, Dad.
Followed your son. She walked along with you without fear. That's enough.
But how did she get halter broke, Dad?
That's the way we break horses on the Goose Bar Ranch. You figure it out for yourself. Come on, Gus. Let's get out those machines.
Oh, Mom, did you see? She's not loco. She's not loco. Hello, Gus.
Kenny, I think maybe you better come to the pasture right away.
What's the matter? Is it Flicka?
Yeah. Her leg from the barbed wire. I think maybe she got infection.
Infection? Is it bad?
She's lying down. I think maybe it is very bad.
Hurry it up, Tim. We've got to get that hay in before tonight.
Okay, boss. Rain in the air, boss.
Yeah, going to storm.
Dad,
What, son?
Dad, I'd like to talk to you.
What about? Rip it, Tim.
It's about Flicka.
Flicka, for the love of Mike, Ken. Can't you see I'm busy? This is no time to be worrying about that filly.
I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't know you.
Just a moment. What is it, son? Is Flicka worse?
Oh, Dad, she's so sick. Will you come down and see her? Maybe you can do something to help her.
All right. I'll come and have a look at her. Keep it going here, Tim. Come on, Gus.
There she is, Dad. She's lying down
For the
again.
love of... What's happened to her?
She's been getting awfully thin.
Thin? Oh, I can count every rib.
I'm afraid she ain't going to pull out of it, boss.
Pull out of it. Oh, she's dead already. How long has she been like this?
She's been going down fast the last few days.
It's the fever. It's burning her up.
She's going to die, Dad. She'll die unless we do something.
I'm afraid it's too late, Ken. We'll have to put her out of her misery.
Dad, you mean... Oh, no, Dad, we can't. We can't do that.
I'm sorry, Ken. But it isn't fair to an animal to let it suffer like this. Look at her. She's burning up. Why, she can hardly breathe.
Flicka. Oh, Flicka.
Gus, you know what to do. There's a gun in the shed. And pick a time when Ken is not around.
Oh, Flicka.
After a brief intermission, Mr. DeMille presents Roddy McDowall, George Brent, and Rita Johnson in Act 3 of My Friend Flicka. Now, here's Sally, and looking a little puzzled, too.
Mr. Kennedy, I've got a letter here from my young cousin Joe in the Army, and, well, I can't understand a word of this sentence.
Read it, Sally. Maybe I can help you.
He says, was in the limp line this week, Sally. I'm okay now, though. The doc slipped me some shutters and sent me packing for my snore sack.
That's elementary, my dear Sally. It means Joe was at sick call. The doctor gave him some sleeping pills and sent him to bed. Any more?
Yes, he goes on to say, the eagle flew yesterday, which gives me enough pocket lettuce to go to town Sunday. I'll have to get flicked up with a chili bowl first, and... Goodness, Mr. Kennedy, you'd better translate that.
He means yesterday was payday, and so he has enough paper money to go to town. But first he has to get a haircut.
Well, now at last I'm coming to something I can understand. He says, and say, when it comes to flicking up, that package of Lux soap you sent me is okay. Boy, the lather's wonderful, the kind a man likes.
He might even have said, Lux soap slicks a man up by the numbers. That's Army talk, too, Sally, and it means with precision and efficiency. Sally, it looks as though that present of yours made a hit in any language.
Well, Mr. Kennedy, I've always noticed that the men in our family enjoy using Lux soap just as much as I do.
Sure, Sally, why not? Men like a little luxury, too. A bath with that rich, creamy Lux soap lather makes a man feel like a million.
Did you know, Mr. Kennedy, Lux toilet soap is a bestseller in all branches of the service?
Yes, Sally, and there are lots of good reasons for it. For one thing, Lux toilet soap costs so little. And being hard-milled, it lasts such a long time. You can use it right down to the last thin sliver. But most important of all, men go for that rich, active lather that gets off the day's dust and grime with neatness and dispatch. Does it gently, too. Yep, Sally, as a soap for face and hands, and as a bath soap, too, Lux has everything.
Yes, and it's nice to know it's one of those little everyday luxuries we can all afford.
Right, Sally. So here's our tip to women everywhere. Let all the family enjoy using this fine white soap. And remember, Lux toilet soap is hard-milled. It lasts. And it's easy on your budget. Now, our producer, Mr. DeMille.
After the play, we'll have a chat with our stars and a surprise guest star. Now the third act of My Friend Flicka, starring Roddy McDowall, George Brent, and Rita Johnson. In the morning, before Ken is awake, a rifle shot will bring an end to Flicka's suffering. Now in the quiet of the night, the boy steals silently from the house down to the pasture to whisper a last goodbye to his friend. But Flicka is not there.
Flicka! Flicka, where are you? Flicka!
Then at last he finds her. Flicka has stumbled to the stream, and she lies there on her side, her head in the water.
Oh, Flicka. My poor little Flicka.
There's a spark of life still burning in her. All night the boy crouches beside her in the icy current, his young arms cradling her head, holding it clear of the stream, whispering words of comfort, fighting off death. In the morning, The boy is close to death himself.
Well, Doctor?
Give him one of these pills every hour. I'll call to see him again tonight.
He's a pretty sick boy, isn't he?
He's very sick, Rob. What happened to him?
He went down to see his colt last night, and she was lying in the stream. Gus found him there this morning. We don't know how long. Perhaps all night.
I see. Well, you'd better have this prescription filled right away.
I'll take you into town and bring it right back.
Come on.
No. Don't worry, darling. You'll be all right.
Hurry, Rob. Please, hurry. Rob?
No, mister. It's me. How's the little boy, mister?
Oh, Gus, he's so sick.
Oh, little fella.
Gus, is Flicka dead?
No, missus. Him and me, we fixed her up in a blanket sling. She can't stand alone. But she drank a bucket of water like a good one.
Did Rob say you didn't have to shoot it?
No, missus. But I just couldn't do it. When I found him like that this morning, feeling the little boy,
I know, Gus. I know what you mean.
She's got plenty strength yet. She could live, maybe.
She could? Sometimes I think, Gus, miracles can still happen.
It was the cold water washing the fever out of her. But it was more than that. It was Ken giving her courage. All night that little fella sitting by her and saying, "Hold on, Flicka. I'm here with you. The two of us together." Storm coming up, missus. Big one. I'll stay here, I guess. Maybe you need me.
Thank you, Gus. Oh, Rob, I thought you'd never get here.
I made it as fast as I could. Road washed out. I had to go the long way. How is he?
He seems a little better. He's been resting.
Oh, good. Here's the medicine.
I'll give it to him right away.
Well, Gus, did you do as I told you?
Boss, I just couldn't.
Well, I gave the order. You had plenty of time.
Just couldn't do it.
Where's the rifle?
I left it in the bunkhouse.
I'll go and get it. I'll do it myself.
Oh, Rob, please don't. Ken knows she's alive. He thinks she'll get well. Give him something to hope for.
It would have been a lot better if that poor little filly was shot weeks ago. It's meant nothing but trouble and misery for all of us. Look what it's done to Ken.
I wish you wouldn't, Rob.
He needn't know.
He'll hear the shot.
In the storm, he'll think it's thunder.
No, he'll know it's the rifle.
Sorry, Nell. It's just no use cutting sick animals' legs.
I'll stay by you, Flicka. Don't die, Flicka, please. I'll stay by you. Oh, help me, someone. It's so heavy. Help me, someone.
Candy,
So heavy.
dear.
So heavy.
It's all right, darling. It's all right. Well, you're just dreaming, dear.
Oh,
I'm here, Ken.
it's raining. She's down there in the pasture.
The rain won't hurt her, darling. Flicka's been out in thunderstorms all of her life.
That was Dad's car I heard before. Wasn't it, Mom?
Yes, dear. He's home.
And then he went out again. Didn't he, Mom?
Yes.
Down to the pasture.
Oh, Ken.
I know she's sick. She's so sick. We can't allow animals. We mustn't let them suffer.
Maybe she'll get better. It could happen, Ken.
Remember what you said? It was something you wanted. Awfully bad.
Yes, dear.
What was it?
I've wanted it ever since a few years after you were born.
What was it, Mom?
It was a little girl, Ken.
Oh, we wanted the same thing, didn't we?
How do you mean, darling?
Do you know what little girl would be in Swedish? Flicka. Little Flicka.
Oh, Ken, dear.
Mom, I
No, darling.
It was a shot.
No, it was thunder. It was thunder, kid.
He's dead. Flicka's dead. Flicka.
Roddy, all right?
Sure. Why?
Ken's asleep and Gus is with him. I got worried about you. Is that Flicka?
Yep.
But I heard a shot.
It was the mountain lion. I took a crack at him.
Did you get him?
No, but I will before morning.
But what about Flicka? You said you were going to...
Yeah, I know. But I couldn't do it. That darn little fool wants to die. She'll have to do it by herself.
Oh. Ken heard the shot.
Yeah? How'd he take it?
Well, he took it. Didn't question it. Didn't seem to rebel.
Well, if he wakes up and asks, I don't think you'd better tell him she's still
Oh,
alive.
but Rob, that...
She may be dead by morning. Wouldn't surprise me. He's accepted her death now. If he knows she's still alive, he'll be all upset again.
I won't tell her.
You better get along up to the house. If that cat's still around, I don't want you wandering around in the dark.
Well, are you going to stay here?
With that filly tied up like that, the cat will probably come back. Can't leave her.
Rob.
Now go along, Nell. I don't want...
Rob, look. Over here. In the tree.
Shh. All right. Don't move.
I can see his eyes, Rob.
Quiet. If we move, he'll spring. All right. I've got a sight on him now. Yeah, that finished him. Easy, Flicka. Easy, girl. That cat won't bother you now. Well, young fella, how does it feel to be out again?
Fine, Dad.
He's still a little shaky in the legs, Rob. We have to stop and sit down a minute.
Up you go, young fella. I'll carry you for a while.
Thanks, Dad.
Well, the doctor said to walk, didn't he? Well, we'll walk.
Where are we going?
Oh, I thought we'd take a look down the home pasture. I've got the yearlings in there again.
Oh, the yearling.
Sure. Still want a colt, don't you? Well, you can pick one out.
Dad.
Anyone on the ranch.
Dad, I don't want to pick one out now.
Why, Ken?
Please, not now.
There they are. Some beauties in that pack, Ken.
Oh, please, Dad.
Look, Ken. Look at that pretty little filly. That one over there.
Why, Mom, it's like Flicka. It is Flicka.
Yes, Ken.
But I thought...
I didn't shoot her. I couldn't. That shot was for the mountain lion.
Oh.
I killed it.
Oh, Flicka. Flicka, come here. It's me, Flicka. It's your friend.
Easy, Ken.
Flicka. Here she comes. Oh, Dad, look. She knows me. Hello, Flicka. Oh, Flicka. She did get gentle, didn't she, Dad?
Gentle as a kitten. She's given us a lot of trouble, son. She's taught us a few things, too. Important things. You responsibility. And me that there is such a thing as hope beyond hope. And sometimes, when things are at their lowest ebb, all we need do is have a little more love, a little more patience, and a little more faith.
Dad, does she know what we're saying now?
I think so. And now she's asking if she can run again.
Go on, Flicka. Run, Flicka. Run!
The curtain falls on my friend Flicka. And our very good friends George Brent, Roddy McDowall, and Rita Johnson answer your applause with a well-earned curtain call.
Thank you, C.B. And I'd just like to say that Roddy is the biggest trooper for his size I've ever seen.
What's your ambition, Roddy?
Well, Miss Johnson, I hope someday to be the checker champion of Hollywood.
That's a pretty big ambition. Think you'll make it?
Oh, I practice any time I can find a pigeon. Oh, I mean a partner. I played with my dad before he went to sea with the merchant marine.
Keep it up. Competition is good for the soul, Roddy.
Yes, sir. And sometimes it's good for the lungs, too. Before Henry Fonda went in the Navy, he and I used to see who could hold his breath for the longest. You can find the score on the wall of his old dressing room.
What the winner get, a chocolate soda?
Or maybe a sundae, Miss Johnson. I'd like to buy you one of my special sundaes sometime.
I'd love it, Roddy. What's in it?
Well, you know those pumps they have in the soda fountain with the chocolate and raspberry and other stuff in it?
Uh-huh.
Well, you take out a dish of ice cream and you put a squirt out of each pump on it.
Then you hold your breath for a good long time.
It sounds a little complicated, Roddy. Now, I like simple things. I think that's why I'm so fond of Lux soap. You see, it's very easy complexion care. Doesn't take much time, and that's important when you're busy.
Now, Lux soap is made for girls who are both beautiful and busy, Rita. And believe me, things are going to be beautifully busy around this microphone next week.
What's the play, C.B.?
It's Philip Barry's sensational hit, The Philadelphia Story. A two-time hit, first on Broadway during a long run, and later as a Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer picture. And our stars will be... Well, I told you we'd have a surprise guest tonight. It's one of next week's stars, Robert Taylor.
Hello, everyone. You've held back the most important part of the news, C.B.
I guess Bob means the rest of our cast. We'll have three stars in the Philadelphia Story next week. Robert Taylor, Loretta Young, and Robert Young.
Yes. Bob Young and I are both delighted at the opportunity of working with Loretta. I think we're going to have a swell time here next week.
Now, it's lucky for us we caught you all during a week off from pictures. What's your latest over at Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer, Bob?
It's called Bataan, C.B., and there are a lot of great fellows in it. George Murphy, Tommy Mitchell, Lloyd Nolan, Lee Bowman, Desi Arnaz, and a very promising newcomer named Bob Walker. The story's about an incident in the Philippine campaign that involved 13 men and not a single woman.
No women? That's a novelty for pictures. The word Bataan will always stand for something very noble in American history. So I'm anxious to see what the picture's like. Incidentally, Bob, how much longer will you be in Hollywood?
Just a short time, C.B. I have one picture to finish, which won't take long.
And then, ladies and gentlemen, Bob enters the Navy Air Corps. We wanted to have him here just once more before he left. That will be next Monday night when we present Robert Taylor, Loretta Young, and Robert Young in the Philadelphia Story.
Glad to be aboard, C.B.
I'm expecting a great show, Bob. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. Good night, everyone. See you at rehearsal, Bob. Our sponsors, the makers of Lux Toilet Soap, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday night when the Lux Radio Theater presents Robert Taylor, Loretta Young, and Robert Young in the Philadelphia Story. This is Cecil B. DeMille saying good night to you from Hollywood.
Heard in tonight's play were Leo Cleary as Gus, Mary Lou Harrington as Hildy, Fred Mackay as Tim, Norman Field as Mr. Sargent, and Charles Seal as the Doctor. Our music was directed by Louis Silvers. And this is your announcer, John M. Kennedy, reminding you to tune in next Monday night to hear Robert Taylor, Loretta Young, and Robert Young in The Philadelphia Story.
Food rationing and shortages don't worry me. I make sure my family gets enough vitamins and minerals. I just buy Vims and add them to my family's meals. You see, Vims are scientifically designed to help make meals complete.
Right. For Vims give you all the essential vitamins and all minerals commonly lacking. They're pleasant to take, too. Children love them. Ask for Vims at your druggist. VI for vitamins, double MS for minerals. Vims. This is the Columbia Broadcasting System.
Lux presents Hollywood. Lux Radio Theater brings you Roddy McDowall, Preston Foster, and Rita Johnson in Thunderhead, Son of Flicka. Ladies and gentlemen, your producer, Mr. William Keeley.
Greetings from Hollywood, ladies and gentlemen. In this turbulent, fast-changing era, the ways of man are often hard to understand, and equally so the way of a man with a maid. But unchangeable is the way of a boy with his horse. Mutual sympathy and understanding. That loyal friendship is the basis of tonight's Lux Radio Theater play, Thunderhead, Son of Flicka, from the studios of 20th Century Fox, with the same stars who made that screen hit so endearing to American theatergoers, Rita Johnson, Roddy McDowall, and Preston Foster. 3 years ago, we introduced Flicka and her master to you in the play to which this drama is a sequel. Your many letters received since then, asking to hear Thunderhead, are answered now with a story that holds all the action and excitement, all the warmth and color of its predecessor. Our background is the mighty forests and prairies of the Northwest, which brings back to me many treasured memories of months spent in that unforgettably beautiful region, filming God's Country and the Woman. Among those memories are the many remote logging camps where our location scenes led us. Simple, picturesque communities where life is rough, but the standard of cleanliness is high. And it was a common occurrence to see those stalwart woodsmen laundering their own clothes in long wooden troughs. I might add, a common sight to see that friendly package of Lux Flakes beside them. A reminder to the fair sex in our audience that Lux Flakes are just as important in a man's world as a woman's. We raise our curtain now on Act One of Thunderhead, Son of Flicka, starring Roddy McDowall as Ken, Preston Foster as Rod, and Rita Johnson as Nell.
Flicka, where are you? There's a storm coming up, Flicka. We gotta get home. Flicka!
It's a late spring afternoon, and above the lofty meadows of the Wyoming Rockies, ominous thunderheads reverberate between towering mountain peaks, still capped with snow. Below, in the far distance, is the Goose Bar Ranch, from whose sheltered confines a boy named Ken has gone in search of his horse. Dwarfed by the landscape and buffeted by the approaching storm, the boy struggles over rocky ledges in answer to a familiar sound.
Oh, so there you are. Hiding in a gully, huh? Horses are supposed to have horse scent. Don't you know there's a storm coming up? You should be home in the barn. And if you... Why, Flicka, what's the matter? Come on, girl. Come on. Why, what in the... Why, Flicka, you've had your colt. You've got a baby horse. Oh, but it's white. Your colt's white. It can't be white. Oh, I'm sorry, Flicka. It's a beautiful colt. Honest it is. Hello, baby. How do you feel, huh? Scared? Well, I'm not going to hurt you. Just got to get you out of here, though. Both of you, before the storm breaks. Come on, Flicka. Don't worry. He'll follow you. He's getting up. But please hurry, Flicka. Hurry or we'll never get home. Dad! Dad!
Father and Mother ain't home from town yet, Cam.
Gus, it's happened. She's had a cold.
Who has cold?
Flicka.
Yeah? Who?
Sure it is. I mean, no, it isn't. She's down in the gully, Gus, and the colt's got stuck in the wash. I can't get him out.
Why didn't you say so? Come on.
Gus, if we don't get there before the storm breaks...
Nothing to worry about. They've been born in colts under rains long time now.
Listen.
Yeah?
Gus, that gully will be a river. Gus, hurry. The colt will drown. He's stuck there. He'll drown. How is he, Gus? How's my colt?
Morning, Kenny. Oh, he's over there.
Morning. How are you, baby? How do you feel?
This fella had a pretty hard night.
Oh, he's beautiful, isn't he, Gus?
He looks like a horse.
I'm going to train him, Gus. I'm going to run him myself. He's a racehorse.
Oh? You think the little fella can run, eh?
Sure he can run. He's going to be the greatest racehorse in the world.
That's nice. You got it all figured out. Well, I hope you're right. We can use a little good luck around here, I bet you.
Ken!
Oh, that sounds like my Hildy.
Ken!
What is it, Hildy?
Your mother says to come in for breakfast right this minute.
Thanks, Hildy.
Oh, you're welcome.
Gus, you didn't tell Dad about the colt.
Why, no, Kenny. You said not to tell him that.
Well, why don't you want anybody to know?
Well, because... Well, he's a very special colt, and I want to surprise Dad.
Oh, well, I won't tell him, Ken.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, you're welcome. Oh, say, there's your pop now, Ken. Are you going to surprise him now?
No, and gee whiz, Hildy, can't you ever mind your own business?
Well, I guess so. But it isn't much fun.
Hello, Dad.
Morning, young fella. Going into breakfast?
Yes, sir. Oh, Dad, what would you do if you had all the money you wanted?
All the money I wanted? Well, I guess I'd buy your mother a fur coat, a diamond ring, and take a cruise to South America and see what kind of horses they really raise down there.
Then what would you do?
You mean there's some left?
Oh, sure.
Well, if you really want to know, I'd buy some more brood mares and make this just about the best ranch in the West. Say, what's this all about?
Well, I have an idea that's going to make us a lot of money, Dad.
You have, huh? Well, that's fine.
Well, now, it may take a couple of years, but... Oh.
Well, that's Charlie Sargent. Charlie, how are you?
Morning, Ron. What's your visitor?
Who is it, Dad?
Looks like Major Harris.
Hello, Kenny.
Morning, Mr. Sargent.
Major Harris, glad to see you again.
Thanks. I'm on another buying tour, McLaughlin. Hello, young man.
Hello.
Well, let's get on in the house. How's the road? Storm too much damage?
Only got stuck once.
Well, good morning, Charlie.
Hello, Nell.
Major Harris, what are you doing out here in the wilderness?
Oh, just wondering if your husband has any more horses to sell.
Afraid not, Major. You got the cream of the crop last time.
We were just going to have breakfast. Won't you join us?
Wouldn't think of it.
Not much he wouldn't. He can smell home cooking 20 miles away.
You're not kidding.
Well, come on. It's all ready.
Watch up, Ken. Oh, we'll need an extra chair. I'll be right with you, gentlemen.
Sorry you have nothing more to sell us, McLaughlin. Those horses you sold us last year were the talk of the fort.
They should have been. Who ever heard of selling hunters and polo ponies for $200 a head?
Well, that's standard Army prices.
Well, I wouldn't have taken a loss like that.
You're just sore because those would-be races of yours aren't good enough for the Army.
Not good enough. What about Appalachia?
Oh, Charlie, not Appalachian again.
And why not? 60 generations of racehorses behind him, and every one of his colts is a winner. Can I help it if my stallion's the best in the country?
Better than the albino?
The albino? Who'd he belong to?
Nobody. Oh, excuse me.
Well, that's all right, son. No, Major, nobody owned the albino. He drifted over here from Montana and nearly drove the ranchers crazy. He was wild. Never could run him down. Every summer for 6 years, he came out of the hills and raided our herds. He'd drive off as many mares as he could, and only the best. Any stallion that tried to stop him was in for a battle. He killed several of the finest horses in this country. Yes, sir, a robber baron if there ever was one. Cost us ranchers thousands of dollars.
And what became of him?
Nobody knows. Just disappeared 4 years ago.
Sounds more like a legend than a real horse.
Oh, he was real enough.
Oh, yes, Major. My mare Flicka is his daughter.
May I come in, Miss McLaughlin?
Of course, Hildy.
Here are the eggs you wanted, Miss McLaughlin.
Thank you, dear.
Oh, you're welcome.
Here, I'll take them.
Ken, do they know about the surprise yet?
Hildy, I told you.
But I didn't say a word about the colt.
Colt? What colt?
Well, Dad, Flicka's had a fall.
Oh, Ken, that's wonderful.
It's down in the barn.
Well, let's go see it. Come along, Major. I'll show you a colt even Charlie here'd be proud of.
Well, Dad, here he is.
Flicka's colt? This?
Yes, Dad.
Ah, that's ridiculous. He's white.
What's the matter, Rob? I thought you said your stallion Banner sired this colt.
Banner's always sired true before.
A white colt.
But there's nothing wrong with a white colt, Dad. He's just as good as any other.
Of course he is.
Watch it, Ken. He's breaking.
Stop! Get him. He's running away.
Come back, you. Come back. Don't worry. I got him.
Look at him, Ken. He's a goblin. He looks just like a goblin.
You keep out of this.
Mr.
Ken,
McLaughlin.
let Hildy alone.
Well, he's not a goblin. He's a thoroughbred racehorse.
Racehorse?
My Banner, out of Flicka.
No, son. It takes a racer to sire a racer.
He was sired by a racer, Mr. Sargent.
Huh?
You mean that Banner's not his father?
No, sir, he isn't.
Well, then who is?
Appalachian.
Appalachia?
What?
That jug-headed colt's by my Appalachian?
Honest, Mr. Sargent.
Now whose horse doesn't sire true?
Ken, what's this all about?
Well, Mom, you know I've always wanted a race, and... Well, Mr. Sargent said what a wonderful horse Appalachian was, so Well, I took Flicka over to his ranch and
You what?
Yes, sir.
Don't you know what it costs to have a colt sired by a famous stallion?
Well, Dad, I was figuring to pay Mr. Sargent out of my winnings. He says Appalachian's colts always win, and
I guess he's got you there, Charlie. Ah, me and my big mouth. Okay, son. You don't owe me a cent. What's more, I'll give you a certificate.
Oh, gosh, thanks, Mr. Sargent.
But how come that colt's pure white when my stallion's coal black?
Maybe he takes after his grandfather.
The albino?
Yeah, that's it. He's a throwback to the albino. You know what that means, Ken?
Sir?
It means that if he inherits any of the traits of that wild devil, you'll never make anything out of him. It just can't be done.
Yes, Dad, I understand.
Well, Ken, there they are. Our whole herd.
Yes, Dad.
You know, boy, if I were a horse, something inside me said this was the season to head for those mountains up there. Well, I couldn't ask for a finer day.
And if I was a horse, Dad, I guess I wouldn't want anybody to leave me but Banner there. Look at him, Dad, rounding him up just as if he was a cowboy.
Sure, Banner knows he's got a job to do, and he's all for doing it. That's it, Banner. Get them together, boy. Take good care of the herd now. Understand?
Dad, look, there they go. Goodbye, Banner. Goodbye.
It's going to seem strange around here, those empty corrals.
I still got Flicka and Goblin.
And I still think they're places with the herd.
But, Dad, you said I could keep them.
They're your horses. You do what you want.
Yes. Hello, Flicka. What's the matter, girl? I know you hear Banner and the herd running off to the mountains, don't you? You want to go, too. All right, girl, you can go. See them out there, Flicka, running and dancing and... Go on, Flicka, go catch Banner. Hey, what's the matter with you, Goblin? Aren't you going with your mama? Go on, beat it. Now, look, Goblin, you may be a horse, but you sure act like a mule sometimes. Now, get out of here. Go on. That's it, Goblin. Go with your mama. So long, Flicka. Goodbye, Goblin. See you next spring.
Yeah, we'll see them all next spring.
Oh, Dad.
That was nice of you, Ken, letting Flicka and the colt go.
Well, I guess I don't exactly need him.
And that Goblin's tough. He'll get along.
But he isn't like other colts.
I'll say he isn't. All the colts I've ever seen act like they're tied to their mothers. But that young fella, he'll want to investigate everything for himself. Won't make any difference whether it's a coyote or a rattler. When the storms come down from the hills and the herd takes shelter, that little fool horse will want to stick his nose right into the wind and fight back. But old Banner won't stand for any nonsense. Goblin may be the grandson of the great albino, but to Banner, he's just another nuisance of a colt. Well, son, I wonder what he'll look like in the spring.
Oh, he'll be beautiful, Dad. Just you wait and see. I only wish that...
What?
Well, I only wish spring wasn't so far off. Dad, they're here.
Yeah, I see him. Gus, watch those corral gates.
Yeah, boss, we're ready. Hey, listen, look, the herd.
It doesn't seem possible, does it? Why, it's spring again. It's spring. Ken, look at him. Look at Goblin run.
Run, why, he's practically flying.
What's that you got? What kind of a watch is that?
Stopwatch.
Where'd you get it?
Oh, don't bother me now, Hildy. I'm counting Goblin.
Oh.
They look fine, boss, fine.
Yeah, get on those gates, Gus. Hey, Ken.
Coming.
Well, son, what do you think of your horse now?
Oh, he's great, Dad. Say, how far is to the top of that nose?
Oh, a couple of 100 yards.
Oh, that's wonderful. Why, he made it in almost nothing flat. Look, 15 seconds. What a racehorse. And he made it in 15 seconds, Mom. 15 seconds.
Fine, Ken. Now eat your lunch.
And, Mom, Dad put Goblin in the corral all by himself. That means I can...
Excuse, boss.
Yeah, Gus?
Boss, we're missing 3 mares. Taggart, Sky High, and Brownie. They ain't with the herd.
Oh, Rob, our prize mare.
Maybe the wolves got them.
I'll bet it was cougars.
Oh, you here, too?
If it was, we would have found signs.
Then what could have happened to them?
Oh, they probably just strayed. We'll find them tomorrow.
No, boss. Him and me looked everywhere.
You sure?
Yeah, boss.
Well, I guess that settles it.
Yep, that settles it.
Thanks, Gus.
Come on, Hildy.
Oh, Rob, the herd's so small now we can't afford to lose those mares.
Well, we just have to buy some others.
They're so expensive. Ken's schooling and Gus and Tim to pay and the taxes.
We'll have to figure it out some way. Now, don't start to worry, honey. We'll find a way.
What you going to do, Kenny? What's the rope for?
I haven't got time to explain.
You're going to try to put a rope around Goblin, aren't you?
Look, if you got to sit on the corral fence, I guess there's nothing I can do about it. But don't bother me.
Oh, I won't, Kenny. I'll just look.
Okay, Goblin, you can quit your fooling now. The way things are going on around here, it's about time you and I got down to some business. That's the boy. Smell the rope. See? It won't hurt you. Now, I'll just put it around you. Hey! Hey, come back, you doggone you. All right, run. I can run, too.
Not as fast as he can.
There's more than one way to skin a cat. Go on, run. I'll lasso you. You won't like that, but I'll have to do it.
I'll bet you miss. See, I knew you'd miss.
Get out of here, Hildy. You want to get yourself killed?
Like that, Jughead?
Do as I tell you.
See, you missed him again.
Well, I won't miss him this time. There. What
Kenny, look out.
Hold, Goblin, hold.
Kenny, he's rearing.
Get down.
His hook, Kenny.
Doggone you, hold.
Kenny, get up.
I'm trying to get up.
That's no way to break a horse.
Don't tell me. Tell Goblin. Hold there, hold.
You're supposed to chase him. He's not supposed to chase... Mr. McLaughlin! Mr. McLaughlin!
Hildy, will you? Cut it out, Goblin. You hear? I'll show you who's boss around here.
See, what did I tell you, Mr.
Ken, hurry, Rob.
Throw him down, Kenny. Throw him down.
I'm trying to.
Put your rope around that snubbing post.
Jump out of the corral, Ken.
I'll have him snubbed in a second, Ma.
Stay with him, son. Stay with him.
I've got him, Dad. I got him.
How do you like that?
That's pretty good.
Now, Goblin, just let me see you get away from that.
Would someone please mind telling me what's going on around here?
Oh, nothing much, Mom. I'm just trying to break Goblin.
You sure it isn't the other way around?
Why, I've got him practically eating out of my hand, Dad.
Out of your hand or honest?
I see what you mean, Hildy.
All I need is just a little more time, Dad. Just take it easy, Goblin. I'll be around to see you tomorrow, boy. We got work to do, son. Lots of work.
Morning, Kenny.
Can't I ever do something without you having you tagging along?
That's a halter you've got, huh? Gonna put a halter on Goblin, huh?
That's exactly what I'm going to do. Hello, Goblin. Here, boy, look. It's sugar. Good, isn't it? Yes, sir. You and I are just going to get along fine.
Ha.
And if you'll listen to reason, why, you'll be a racehorse before you even know it. Now, this is only a halter, Goblin. It won't hurt you. It's only a halter. Oh, now, don't tell me we have to go through all this foolishness again. Now, you know who's boss around here, so behave yourself. Ho, doggone you, ho, cut it out. Want me to take this halter shank to you? Now, Goblin, I'm trying to be patient. Ho, stop it, you crazy bro. Come back here. Come back.
Well, you're right about one thing, Kenny. He sure can run.
Okay. Let him be like his grandfather. See if I care. Of all the mean-tempered, stubborn idiots I've ever...
Losing your temper is no way to train a horse, son.
I'm not going to train him, Dad.
You started this thing, and you're going to see it through.
I can't teach Goblin anything, Dad. And what's more, I think he hates me.
If he hated you, he'd never let you step inside that corral. No horse is going to be broken without putting up a scrap.
I know, Dad, but... Well, one minute Goblin's as gentle as a kitten, and then just when I think I'm getting somewhere, he turns outlaw.
That's because Goblin has a problem, too. He can't make up his mind whether he wants to be like Flicka or like the albino. Fighting himself, like most of us do. What he needs is a little patience and understanding. Now go and find that horse and bring him back.
Yes, sir.
The herd's on the upper pasture. 10 to 1, that's where they'll be.
I'll find him, Dad. Flicka and I. We'll bring him back.
Rob, it's getting dark. He should have been
came back an hour ago.
Oh, stop worrying, Nell. Chances are Goblin took off into the hills.
Well, I don't think we should let Ken go on with this. Goblin's too wild.
Ken will handle him. He broke Flicka, didn't he?
Goblin isn't like Flicka.
This is no time to discourage him, just when the boy's beginning to take an interest in the ranch. Besides, we want to send him off to military school, don't we?
I don't know what that's got to do with it.
Breaking Goblin's very apt to make a man out of him. He'll need to be a man when he... Oh, wait a minute. That you, Ken?
Dad.
In here.
Dad, the albino's come back.
What?
He's waiting to herd.
The albino.
Well, it couldn't be. The albino hasn't been around here in years.
That's true, Dad. I saw him. He was running like the wind, fighting Banner and singling out the mares.
So that's what happened to our mares.
Banner's all cut up, Dad. I didn't know what to do.
Get Gus and Tim. Tell them to saddle up and bring their rifles.
You mean we're going after the albino tonight?
That's exactly what I mean.
Our stars, Preston Foster, Roddy McDowall, and Rita Johnson, will return in a moment with Act Two of Thunderhead, Son of Flicka. Tell me, Libby, is it true that most movie stars have pet superstitions?
Oh, yes, indeed. Very special ones, and often. Now, there's Maureen O'Hara, 20th Century Fox's auburn-haired beauty. She insists she lost an important role because she looked at a new moon out of a window.
Judging by the great part she has as a Broadway actress in Sentimental Journey, it didn't hurt her screen career.
She has another amusing superstition. She wears a pet slip when she starts a new picture. She bought it for a gift several years ago, but liked it so much she kept it herself.
Several years ago? And she's still wearing it?
Oh, yes, and it's lovely. I saw it when she was being fitted for those stunning, curvaceous clothes she wears in Sentimental Journey. She takes good care of that slip, says it brings her luck. And it always gets Lux Care, Mr. Kennedy.
Any slip is lucky that gets Lux Care. Remember those famous lingerie tests we've talked about, Libby? Slips and nightgowns washed with strong soap, hot water, and handled roughly soon looked faded and drab. But identical underthings, washed the Lux way, stayed lovely 3 times as long.
And that's important these days, Mr. Kennedy. You know, it's hard to find pretty undies in the stores. So we girls are being thrifty. We're just insisting on Lux Care.
And if you don't find Lux in the store, ask for it again.
It's certainly worth waiting for. Another way I found to be thrifty, Mr. Kennedy, is this. After I Lux my undies, I use the same suds for stockings. Lux makes such rich suds, a little goes a long way.
A good suggestion. These days, nobody should ever waste soap. Back now to Mr. William Keeley.
We continue with Thunderhead, Son of Flicka, starring Rita Johnson as Nell, Preston Foster as Rod, and Roddy McDowall as Ken. Our curtain rises on Act 2. All night long, under a bright moon, an unsuccessful search for the wild albino horse continues, through canyons and up to the timberline, across swollen streams, and finally to the edge of a vast range called the Buckhorn.
He came this way, all right. Look at those tracks, Tim.
These two, boss. That albino took plenty of company with him.
That's fine. More of our mares.
Dad, look. Goblin's gone with the albino.
Goblin?
Sure, here are his tracks. I told you how I notched his hoof. I recognize it.
That fool Goblin get near the mares and the albino will cut him to pieces.
Wait. There's no sense going any further.
Yeah, he's taking him clear into Buckhorn Range.
But, Daddy, he just can't disappear off the face of the earth.
There's a million canyons in Buckhorn. It would take us weeks. We're going back home.
Hey, down there, look.
Dad.
Well, I'll be...
It's Goblin, Daddy. He didn't run away. It's Goblin.
Hey, take it easy.
I'm coming, Goblin. Wait for me. I'm coming.
What do you think of that? Sure, it's Goblin.
Hello, boy. Gosh, I'm glad to see you. Dad, look, he's hurt. Look at his fangs.
Yummy. All cut up.
By a hoof. And a mighty big one.
The albino. But Goblin will be all right, won't he, Daddy? It won't keep him from running.
I don't know. He's pretty badly shaken up. My guess he's going to be all right, though.
Oh, gosh.
Put a rope around him, Tim. We'll take it easy going back.
Yes, boss.
Ken, you're pretty determined to run, Goblin, aren't you?
Yes, Dad.
You'll be going away to school soon.
But, well, he won't be ready to run for a long time yet. Another year, anyway.
You've got lots to learn, the two of you.
And I guess we don't have much money, do we?
Been taking quite a licking, son. It's all your mother and I can do to get you into the academy.
I know.
and there's just not enough money for both. Keep you in school and spend what it takes to turn a jug-headed colt into a racehorse.
Well, Dad, I'll do whatever you want.
Thanks, Ken. You know,
Yes, sir?
next year, just about this time, you'll be coming home for a spring vacation.
Yes, sir?
And just about this time next year, Goblin here should be ready for a serious workout on a racetrack.
Oh, Dad, thanks.
I don't know how we'll manage it, son, but, well, we'll manage.
The horse looks great, Rob. So does the boy, too.
It's great to have him home again, Charlie.
And how he's looked forward to this day. Oh, it's wonderful of you, Charlie, letting him use the track.
Oh, I'm as interested in that horse as he is, Nell. Well, this is as good a place as any to watch him work out.
Take him round once, son. We'll clock him.
Okay, Dad. Who's that other horse down there?
Southern Belle. Rob and I figure Goblin needs a pacemaker.
Goblin needs more than a pacemaker.
Still too fractious?
Well, look at him, see? See what I mean? Rearing and jumping
Oh,
and...
Rob, he's still a colt.
Oh, he's too unpredictable.
Ken says he's just high-spirited. Hildy, you here? I didn't know that you...
Oh, yes, I'm here.
We're all set, Ken. Break together now.
I wouldn't miss this for anything, Mr. McLaughlin.
When I drop this handkerchief, go. Southern Belle can run. If Goblin can catch her, we'll know he's good. All right. Here we go.
Run, Goblin, run!
Ken! Oh, for Pete's sake, look at him standing there.
Uh-oh, left at the post.
No, he's going now. And look at him go.
Run, you Goblin, run!
Whose horse are you for?
I'm for any colt of Appalachians.
He's catching up. He's catching up.
Come on, Goblin.
Ride him, Kenny, ride him.
Come on, Ken. Let him out, boy. Let him out.
Goblin.
Here they come.
Look at him pull away.
8 lengths. He's beaten Belle by 8 lengths.
A stopwatch. You got the stopwatch?
I've got it all right.
Across.
Whoop! Hey!
What'd he make, Charlie? What'd he make?
Look at the watch. A half mile in 47. Half mile in 47 seconds.
He did it, Kelly. He did it. Well, I'll be jiggered.
Oh, I told you could run, Mr. Sergeant.
Ken, you did beautifully.
Sonny, you're going to enter Goblin in the Multnomah County races.
But, well, that's not till next May.
You want to win that race, don't you? We'll wait for the Multnomah.
Okay, Mr. Sergeant.
And I'll help you get a jockey license so you can ride him yourself.
Ken, a jockey?
Oh, sure, Ma.
Oh, dear.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. I think we're all a little too excited. Now, let's get down to earth. First place, we know we can't depend on Goblin. He's proved that for one whole year.
But you just saw him run.
Being able to run isn't enough. He's got to run when you want him to, not just when he feels like it.
Oh, he'll be all right, Dad. I'll train him. I'll make a real racer out of him.
Well, I'm feeling confidenter and confidenter. Goblin's a racer.
Goblin? No, let's not call him that. He isn't a goblin anymore. He needs a new name.
You name him, Mom.
Oh, Ken, I don't know.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, now, let's see. We could... Rob, look at the sky.
Yeah, rain again by evening.
Those thunderheads. They're like white horses in the sky. Well, my goodness, that's it. How about calling him Thunderhead?
Oh, I like that.
That's a fine name for him.
Thunderhead. Yes, Thunderhead.
Ken, I swear every time you come back from school, you've grown another foot.
You mean even more than last time?
Well, look. The last time you were home, by the very day we named Thunderhead, I measured you for this jockey shirt. And look at you. You can scarcely get into it.
Oh, it looks great, Mom. Honest.
Well, I suppose I can lengthen the sleeves. Ken, I want you to promise me one thing.
Sure.
I want you to promise not to take any foolish chances in that race. You're not a professional jockey, you know.
I can ride. Mom, you know that.
Oh, I know. But you will be careful, won't you?
Sure, but what about Dad?
Your Dad? Oh, he's been working awfully hard lately, Jim. We've just about been able to get by, you know that.
Yes, Mom, I know.
He's been pretty nervous and irritable. I've been letting him have his own way in everything.
But, Mom, if we let him have his own way about the races...
Now, you let me worry about that. Just get out to report card. When Dad comes home, I'll talk to you.
Oh, darling. Sorry I'm late.
Tired, dear?
Oh, little.
How'd the sale go?
Nell, I changed my mind about keeping that thoroughbred. I spoke to Harris. He bought the whole lot. Here's the check.
Oh, Rob, they're all gone?
That's
all
right.
that thoroughbred?
I'm sorry, dear.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm not. Nobody's interested in jumpers and hunters these days. We'll be able to concentrate now on cavalry horses. There's nothing wrong in that. And take a look at that check. It's enough to last us the rest of the year. We might even be able to buy a couple of good brood mares.
Rob, that's wonderful, but do we have to buy them right away?
Well, we ought to. Why not?
Oh, nothing.
Come on now. Out with it.
Hello, Dad.
Well, Ken, when did you get here?
This morning. I couldn't wait. I took the bus.
Well, you look fine, boy. Say, that's some snappy uniform. And stripes. You got your stripes.
Yes, sir. Academy Corporal. Dad, and that's not all. Here.
Oh, report card.
Well, look at it.
Mathematics, 94. Latin, 92. Composition, 100.
Now aren't you proud?
Proud? I'm dumbfounded. Ken, this is wonderful. What happened?
Well, Dad,
Go on, dear. You might as well tell him yourself now.
Well, Dad, I thought if I made good in school, you might lend me the money to enter Thunderhead in the Multnomah County races.
Races? Nell, I thought you wrote Ken
But,
that
Dad,
Ken, it isn't just the entry fee. It's that horse. You can't depend on him.
But, Dad, I've had him out all day, and he's fine now.
And he might win.
He will win. I know he'll
and
win.
if he does, it'll mean $5,000.
Nell, I'd like to see that horse run as much as anybody. But with incidentals and everything, it would cost close to $500 to get him entered. The way things are, I just can't afford to take the risk.
But, Dad...
I'm sorry, son.
Robbie's been counting on it. He's worked so hard.
Now, wait a minute. Would somebody please tell me what this is?
That? Oh, it's just a jockey shirt.
Jockey shirt?
I made it for him.
And, what's this thing? The design sewed on it.
Oh, just our brand, Rob. The Goose Bar. I thought Ken might like it.
Oh. And that jar, what's that?
It's furnace marble hoof luster, Dad. I bought it to shine Thunderhead's hooves with.
Hoof luster. Jockey shirt. What chance do I stand around here? Okay, you win. Thunderhead enters the race.
Oh, gee, Dad.
Now, just let me out of here before I change my mind.
Well, Dad.
Well, son?
Thunderhead looks pretty good, doesn't he?
You don't look so bad yourself. Checked everything?
Everything.
I don't want you doing a nosedive in the middle of the track.
Oh, I'll be all right.
Sure you will. Be just like a workout at Charlie Sargent's ranch.
Six race, jockeys up. Six race, jockeys up.
I guess that means me.
Yep. Jockey's up.
Let's go, Thunder.
Ken, don't let that crowd bother you or the jockeys either. And don't let them get you in a pocket.
I won't, Dad.
Just remember, there's not a better horse on that track or a better rider.
Thanks.
Good luck, son. Your mother and I will be cheering for you.
The horses are now approaching the starting gate. This is the victory handicap for 3-year-olds and upwards. On the rail is Fleetway with Buddy Farnsworth. Number 2 is Molly R. with Jockey Connolly. Happy Days is number 3, ridden by Clyde Jennings. Number 4 is Thunderhead, ridden and owned by Ken McLaughlin.
There he is. There's
Storm
Ken.
Warning is
Yoo-hoo, Ken.
Well, Mrs. McLaughlin, what do you think of your son now?
Oh, Robbie looks so small down there.
This is no time to start worrying. He can take care of himself.
And that Thunderhead, Rob, he looks like $1 million.
I'll settle right now for $5,000.
Who owns that black one, Charlie?
That's Fleetway, the Johnson stable.
Yeah, and he's liable to be a good horse.
Not as good as Thunderhead, I bet.
Only the favorite, darling.
And what are we?
Just 30 to 1.
Is that good?
Well, Hildy, I'll let you know in about 5 minutes.
The horses are all in the starting gate. Number 4 is acting up down there. Thunderhead is refusing to enter. He's trying to break out. No, wait. Well, they've got him all right. He's settling down now. Thunderhead is being led into position. They're all in there now, and there they go. Thunderhead refused to break. He's still in his gate. He's jumping and bucking. There he goes. It's Molly out in front. Thunderhead boy is second by 1 length. Swinging door is third. Happy Days is fourth, and the Fleetway. Thunderhead is trailing the field by 20 lengths. Around the first turn, it's Molly R in front by a hit.
Oh, boss. Dead last, he is dead last.
20 lengths, all because he wouldn't break.
20 lengths, nothing. That horse is moving up.
Kenny, don't be last. Not last. Come on, Thunderhead. Come on.
He is moving. Where are those glasses?
Front by a half a length. Swinging door is second by a hit. Molly out is third by 1 length. Stepmother is fourth, and on the extreme outside is Thunderhead. The horses are all closing ground. Into the stretch, it's Fleetway ahead by 1 length. Molly R between horses is second by a half a length. Swing door is third, and Thunderhead. It's Fleetway in front. Thunderhead is second. They're head and head now. Thunderhead is taking the lead. Fleetway is second by 2 lengths, and Molly R. It's Thunderhead by 2 lengths and drawing away. Fleetway is second, and Wait a minute, Buck. He's tapping the Thunderhead. He's slowing down. The field is going past him. It's Fleetway going across the line of finish. Thunderhead is leaping the rail into the infield. He's running away. It's Fleetway the winner. Maliara is second by 3 lengths and swinging down third in front of Stepmother. Thunderhead is still running across the infield. The lead ponies are attempting to head him off now. Uh-oh. He's fallen. Thunderhead has fallen. The jockey's on the ground. They're not moving. Looks like a serious accident. It's difficult to tell from here, but McLaughlin is getting up.
Stay here, darling. Wait for me here.
Doggone you good-for-nothing loco cayuse. Why did you do it? Why did you throw that race, Thunderhead? I told you we were counting on you, and now you've ruined everything. Stop it. I don't care if you are sorry. They're laughing at us. That whole grandstand. Come on, let's get out of here. I said, look, Thunderhead, your leg. What's the matter with your leg, boy? Thunderhead.
Ted, are you all right?
Dad, I'm fine, but it's him, Thunderhead, his leg.
Well, Doc, can't you tell us anything?
Well, it's hard to say, McLaughlin. Swollen like it is. Just keep that leg bandaged till you get the horse home. And have your own vet look at him.
Thanks, Doc.
He's going to run again, isn't he, Doc?
Doesn't look like it, son. Bow-tended can never be depended
At
upon.
least it won't cripple him, Ken.
Why, he'll be as good as ever, son. He'll make a great saddle horse.
Perhaps, but he'll never be able to put on that burst of speed a racehorse needs to take him over the finish line.
You see, Kenny, Thunderhead's racing days are over.
Thunderhead, it's all right. It's all right, boy.
We pause now for station identification. This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.
We'll be back with Act 3 of Thunderhead in just a moment. Thousands of people contribute in many different ways to your enjoyment of motion pictures, from the stars and the producers to the usherette who shows you to your theater seat. Tonight we have as our guest 18-year-old Gloria Tucker, petite blonde usherette at Hollywood's famous Egyptian theater. Have you any screen ambitions, Gloria?
Yes, I have, Mr. Keeley. My job helps pay for my dramatic lessons.
And gives you a chance to study the acting technique of our leading stars, eh?
Yes, that's true. When we're playing a picture like Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's Adventure, I find it hard to keep my eyes on the seats instead of on the screen.
Clark Gable and Greer Garson certainly make a wonderful team.
You know, it was Mr. Gable who started me dreaming about a screen career.
When was that?
12 years ago. My parents were making a tour of the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer studios, and we met Mr. Gable in the commissary.
And Clark offered you a role at the age of 6?
Oh, no. But he told me what a wonderful career the movies are.
And he's right. And from the crowds I've seen, everybody wants to see Gable's first picture since his return to the screen.
Oh, adventure certainly keeps us busy. It seems as if I walk up and down those aisles 1,000 times a day.
I imagine that's tough on stockings, Gloria.
Yes, it is, Mr. Kennedy. But I hardly ever get runs. Maybe that's because I use Lux. Every night when I get home, I toss my stockings into lukewarm Lux suds.
It's not surprising, Gloria, that you get such good care. Stockings washed with Lux Flakes last twice as long as those rubbed with cake soap or washed with a strong soap. Scientific strain tests prove it.
What do you do in your spare time, Gloria?
I don't have very much, Mr. Keeley, but I like sports and go bowling whenever I can.
Well, what's your average?
Not very good. My stocking average is better.
Do you know why Lux Care gives you that high score, Gloria? It's because Lux saves stocking elasticity. Threads stretch under strain, then spring back into place without popping into runs.
I never knew the scientific reason, Mr. Kennedy, but I certainly know that Lux is good for stockings.
Thank you for telling us your experience, Gloria, and thank you for coming here tonight. Here's Mr. Keeley at the microphone.
We hope you'll join us after the play to hear about Roddy McDowall's latest, rather fascinating hobby. Here's Roddy now as Ken, co-starred with Preston Foster as Rob and Rita Johnson as Nell in Act 3 of Thunderhead, Son of Flicka. A couple of weeks have passed since Thunderhead's disastrous race. His leg is almost well, but the big, half-wild horse will never race again. In front of the corral, Rob, his face lined with worry, talks with a hired man, Gus.
Well, Gus?
Oh, he's coming along good now, boss. Couple of weeks, he'll be like new.
Yeah, that's fine. Gus, I was speaking to Charlie Sargent.
Yeah?
He tells me he's got quite a lot of work at his place. He's short-handed, and what's the matter?
Oh, this corral gate is saggy. Hildy's been swinging again, I bet you.
You know, things have been pretty slack around here.
She got the gate all loose.
Mr. Sargent tells me he could use a couple of good hands.
Yeah. This hanging needs taking up, too. Will you hold her up just a minute, boss? That's it.
Well, I thought you and Tim might like to go to work for him.
A little higher, boss. That's it.
With the herd as small as it is, I can pretty well handle it myself now. Besides, I just can't afford to pay after the first of the month, Gus.
Well, the hanger all fixed now. Yeah, I think that's better, huh?
You didn't hear a word I said.
Sure, boss. You said you couldn't pay us after the first of the month.
Well?
It don't make no difference. Jim and me wouldn't be happy anyplace else. Yeah, gate works pretty well now.
Thanks, Gus.
Mom! Breakfast!
Coming. Where's Ken?
Upstairs. He said he wasn't very hungry this morning.
I think I'd better have a little talk with him.
Rob, be nice to him. He goes back to school Monday, and, well, he's been taking it pretty hard.
I know. I'll be down in a few minutes. Come on, son, hurry up. Big day ahead of us. Got to get the hay in. Bringing $40 a ton this season, and, Ken.
Yes, Dad.
I know what's on your mind, but, we took a chance and we lost. That's all there is to it.
I'd counted so on Thunderhead winning that race.
I know.
Now he won't ever run again.
And it's all part of growing up. Losing races of one kind or another. You know, there's lots of ways you can grow up. You can grow up to be cocky if you get what you want, and bitter if you don't. You can also grow up to take both success and failure in your stride. That's what I want you to do, son. What happens isn't important. What is important is the way you meet it, how much courage you have. You see, it takes a mighty big man to pick up the pieces and start all over again.
I'm sorry, Dad. I guess I have been acting kind of like a baby.
Now, what do you say we have a little breakfast, huh?
That's for me.
You know, now that his leg's better, Thunderhead's getting kind of restless out there.
Well, you know he wants to get out. He can't stand being shut up in a corral that way. Maybe I can ride him later.
Sure, he could stand some exercise.
Rob, can you come down? Tim's here.
Coming.
Boss, as if we hadn't had enough bad luck.
Now what?
The albino's raided us again. Banner's hurt pretty bad.
Banner?
Oh, Rob.
Get the medicine kit, Kenny. We'll have to skip breakfast, Nell. Get Gus and the rifles, Tim. We'll try to find that robber again.
Here he is, boss. Banner, all that's left of him.
Dad, look. He's...
Yeah. We won't need the medicine kit. Put it back in the saddlebag.
Dad...
Banner's been too good to me. Can't let him suffer like this. Go back to your horse, Ken.
Yes.
Let me have the pistol, Gus.
Yeah, boss.
The best stallion I ever owned. Poor old Banner.
Yeah. One thing, boss. The poor Banner got it so bad that albino's as good as dead, too, I bet you. It must have been some fight they had.
Yeah. Well, let's try that trail. We may still run him down. How's Thunderhead's leg holding out, Ken?
Looks fine to me, Dad. Ready to go all day.
Well, he may have to, because I'm finding that murdering albino.
Getting dark, boss. You and the boy turn around now, you could still make the ranch.
Nell won't worry. She knows what we're after.
Gus and I'd stick right after him, boss.
We're all sticking. Make camp at the lake. Get some sleep and see what sort of a moon we get. If it's bright, we can start out again after midnight.
Good, boss, good. We give that white devil no rest, you bet.
Dad? Did you call me? Dad? That's funny. I thought I heard a noise. They're asleep. They're all asleep. I must have been dreaming. Thunderhead. He's gone. He clipped his tether. Thunderhead.
But where would you go, boss? Just him and the horse.
That's all right, Gus. Look, Penny left a note. See? Thunderhead got away, didn't want to wake you, so I'm going out after him myself. Don't worry, I'll be back.
Yeah, but when? Boss, you think he's all right?
Oh, he can take care of himself. Go on back to sleep, Gus. We'll stay here till daylight. He'll be back by then.
Thunderhead? Thunderhead? All right. Don't answer me, you stubborn fool. I'll show you I can be stubborn, too. I've chased you all night long. I've climbed my last mountain after you. Just wait till I get to the top of you. Just wait. You're not there. I'm going back. Daylight seeing. I'll just get one good look and then I'm... Oh, what a view. A whole valley. Why, I never knew there was a valley here. Thunderhead? A herd of horses down there. Dad's horses. Why, look, there's Brownie and Sky High and Taggart. Dad's mares. And it's him. The albino. The albino. I'm getting those mares. Albino or no albino. I'm getting those mares. Brownie. Brownie, come here. You know me, Brownie. Don't you want to go home, Brownie? The albino. He's coming after me. Thunderhead. Help. Thunderhead. I can't run anymore. Get him, Thunderhead. I cannot. Get him, Thunderhead. Get him, boy. His hooves. Watch his hooves, Thunderhead. Get up and fight. Get up and fight. There. You've got him, boy. There. You've got him. He's fighting, Thunderhead. That. Keep fighting, boy. Keep fighting.
Ken, are you all right?
Dad.
Kenny, we've been looking for you for hours.
What's happened, boy? What have you been... The albino.
Yes, Dad.
And Thunderhead.
He killed the albino, Dad. Thunderhead killed him. He saved my life.
Killed the albino.
Easy, boy. Easy. You don't have to fight anymore. It's all over now.
Boss, look!
Down there, the end of the canyon. The horses. A whole herd. And they're our mares.
That's where he kept him, Dad, the albino. When I found him, he started to charge me. I was so tired, Dad, I couldn't run anymore. And then I fell, and then he saw me. Thunderhead. He headed him off, and he fought for me, Dad, until he killed the albino.
Thunderhead.
Yeah, well.
He was a thief and a killer, that albino. But still, he was a great horse, wasn't he?
One of the greatest.
Thunderhead!
You see, boy, he's all right. Look at him run.
He's calling that herd together down there. They're coming this way.
Driving the herd, boss. Rounding them up.
You better get up on my horse, Ken.
Daddy, he's bringing them to us. Why, he wants to take the herd home.
Well, I'll be...
Me too, boss. Hear this. Let's help him do it.
I can't figure it out. Look, Thunderhead, he's bringing them to the corral.
Oh, Ma, how do they look?
Rob, all those mares and colts, where'd they come from?
Looks like we're back in business again, thanks to Ken.
And Thunderhead, Mom.
And Thunderhead.
He saved my life, Mom. He killed the albino.
Saved you. Oh, that means more than if it won 100 races.
Come to think of it, I guess it does. Dad, can you come here, please?
Just a second, Kenny.
Oh, boy, easy. What's wrong, Thunderhead? What is it, boy?
Well, Ken?
Dad, what's wrong with him? He acts as if I was a stranger to him.
Oh, it isn't that, Ken. Thunderhead brought the mares here because this has been his home.
But it's still his home.
Don't forget, son, Thunderhead has taken the albino's throne away from him. He's king now, and he knows it. I'm afraid that neither corrals nor fences, no matter how big, ever hold him again.
Oh, Sonny, easy, boy, easy.
Look, he's trembling, sniffing the air, looking at the sky.
Don't you want to stay, Thunderhead? All right, boy. You can go.
Free as the wind, and darn near as fast.
Look at him, Dad. Straight for the mountains. I've lost him.
Yes, dear.
Mama.
The albino is won at last.
Goodbye, Thunderhead. Goodbye.
Our stars will return for their curtain calls in just a moment. Do you remember those New Year's resolutions you made not so many weeks ago? Has something like this happened to them?
1, go through closets for the clothing drive. Oh, I can't be bothered until I do my spring cleaning.
But the need is now, Mrs. Smith.
Let's see. 2, keep a can for used fat on the stove. Save some every day. Well, rationing's off, so saving used fat can't be very important now.
Oh, yes, it's still very important if you want that new vacuum cleaner and radio and car, and especially if you want more soap. Supplies of industrial fats and oils are still far from enough to go around, and soap makers have to share the supply with thousands of other industries. So you can't have more soap unless there's more fat for industry. Manufacturers are depending on the housewives of America to help them get the fats they need to make the things you want. So, ladies, put that good resolution into action. Save every drop of used fat from table scraps, gravies, stews, frying pan, and broiler. Turn your full can of used fat into your dealer at once. He'll give you 4 cents for every pound. You'll be surprised how fast a container fills up. If you keep it in plain sight, add some every day. Remember, every time you throw used fats away, you're contributing to the soap shortage. If you want to see your favorite brands on the shelf more often, save used fats. Turn them in regularly. Here's your producer, Mr. William Keeley.
Our spotlight again falls on Rita Johnson, Roddy McDowall, and Preston Foster, who return for a well-deserved curtain call. Roddy, I understand you have your own producing company now.
That's right, Mr. Keeley. But it's still on paper. But it's very real to me.
What do you call it, Roddy?
Well, it's called Imperial Eagle Production. I've given it about 4 square miles in the heart of Hollywood.
You mean you have it all mapped out?
Oh, certainly, with sound stages, administration buildings, dressing rooms, commissaries, cutting rooms.
Must run into a lot of money, even on paper.
Yes, Mr. Keeley, but of course we only make very successful pictures and with big stars.
Well, who are some of the stars, Roddy?
Well, Janet Ludlow is our Academy Award winner.
I'm afraid I've never heard of her.
Well, I'm afraid she's still on paper. But I've cast a lot of real stars in my pictures, too. I've even got Greta Garbo in production.
Greta Garbo? Well, this sounds like a very interesting hobby.
Where do you release your pictures, Roddy?
I have my own chain of theaters, Mr. Keeley. Just the other day, Gregory Peck applied for the popcorn concession in them.
You don't have Preston Foster and Rita Johnson in production, do you?
Yes, I do, sir. Preston and Rita, though you may not know it, they've been in production for the past 4 weeks on a picture called The World's Illusion.
And who's the director?
Well, you are, Mr. Keeley.
Oh, I've been feeling a little bit worn out from pressure lately.
Tell me, Roddy, does this hobby of yours mean that you'd really like to produce pictures someday?
I'd love it, Preston.
Well, for a future producer, that's a very excellent hobby, Roddy. Maybe someday we'll be doing Imperial Eagle screenplays here on Lux.
What are you doing here next week, Bill?
Well, next week we're bringing our audience Universal's tender and delightful screen hit, The Amazing Mrs. Holliday. And our welcome mat is out for 3 fine stars, Gene Tierney, Walter Brennan, and Edmund O'Brien. Gene plays one of the most touching roles I know, as the young girl posing as a rich man's widow to provide a home for 8 war orphans. What happens when she discovers that the rich man has an attractive grandson of her own age? Well, you'll find out when you tune in Monday.
We'll certainly be with you in the audience. Good night.
Good night, and thanks for being with us. Our sponsor, the makers of Lux Flakes, join me in inviting you to be with us again next Monday evening, when the Lux Radio Theater presents Gene Tierney, Walter Brennan, and Edmund O'Brien in The Amazing Mrs. Holliday. This is William Keeley, saying good night to you from Hollywood.
In the nation's drive against infantile paralysis, which has enlisted the aid of Hollywood studios and leading stars, the motion picture industry this year has collected and donated more than $6 million. This is the greatest amount ever solicited by the industry in its annual campaign to help protect the children of America. Said the state chairman of the National Foundation for Infantile Paralysis, in expressing our gratitude for this fine contribution, I wish to add that it is in keeping with the generosity of your industry, which has always been among the strongest and most zealous supporters of the fight against infantile paralysis. Roddy McDowall appeared through the courtesy of 20th Century Fox, producers of the psychological thriller Shock. Preston Foster will soon be seen in the Universal picture Tangier. This program is broadcast to our fighting forces overseas through cooperation with the Armed Forces Radio Service. Our music was directed by Louis Silvers. And this is your announcer, John Milton Kennedy, reminding you to tune in again next Monday night to hear The Amazing Mrs. Holliday with Gene Tierney, Walter Brennan, and Edmund O'Brien.
The Spry Treat of the Week. Crispy, tender-crusted fish fillets fried to full-flavored perfection in pure all-vegetable Spry. For foods dependably delicious and digestible, rely on Spry. That's pure all-vegetable shortening at its creamy best. S-P-R-Y.
Be sure to listen in next Monday night to the Lux Radio Theater presentation of The Amazing Mrs. Holliday with Gene Tierney, Walter Brennan, and Edmund O'Brien. And why not tune in a half hour early to hear Joan Davis over most of these stations? This is CBS, the Columbia Broadcasting System.